What's going on, guys? Devil's Advocate Boxing. This is the part 3 to my Floyd Mayweather's next 4 opponents video. This is the video where I'm gonna give my opinion on his biggest threats, the people that will give him the people that have the best shot of beating him. And this is the 154-pound division version. In my last video, I explained the 4 guys that would give him the most problems at 147, in my opinion. And in this one, it is the 4 guys at 154 that would give him the most problems. And these fights that I mentioned, especially the first guy that I mentioned, is not very probable that Floyd Mayweather will ever fight him. But in my opinion, okay, and this is just my opinion, this is the guy that has the biggest shot at beating Floyd Mayweather, based on styles and, yeah, basically based on stylistically. This guy, like I said, has an extremely good chance, depending on how good he looks at 154, because he is a 160 fighter right now. He's been blowing through guys at 160, but he's already 30 years old, so who knows how he looks at 154. I think Floyd Mayweather would have to be crazy to fight him at 160. But, I mean, maybe not. But anyways, the guy who I'm talking about is none other than Gennady Golovkin. Stylistically, I think if there is a blueprint to beating Floyd, and if it is to pressure him and to be aggressive and to take risks, this guy has a rare version of a pressure fighting style, because he's intelligent. He's not one of these idiots that's gonna come straight at you and just, throw wild punches. He picks his shots very well. And what I mean by intelligent pressure is, if you take a guy like Brandon Rios or Margarito, they're kind of like magnets, like they're magnetized to you. They're just going to come straight in. If you push them back, they're going to take one step back and they're going to walk right back into you, right back into your punches. And if you move, they're just going to follow you around the ring. And Gennady Golovkin isn't like that. He's very intelligent. He's got extremely good technique. He's extremely powerful. We already know that. He would outweigh Floyd by 20 plus pounds on the day of the fight. He's got a granite chin. And like I said, I think he has a perfect style to deal with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Like I said, he's not the Margarito type pressure fighter that's just gonna walk in, and just charge straight at you, but he's gonna be on top of you the entire time. But instead of just throwing wild shots or, smothering his own punches, he's gonna do it intelligently. He's gonna pick his shots, and he cuts off the ring very well. The only thing that he's lacking is the speed. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe Floyd Mayweather puts on another masterclass against him and makes him miss almost every punch, because this guy isn't that fast. But I don't know. The guy is a monster. I don't know if anyone can really deny that. And yeah, I think he's got a good style for Floyd. He is a pressure. He's not really I wouldn't call him a pressure fighter, but he's very good at pressuring people, and he's very good at cutting off the ring. He's got better defense than people give him credit for. He's got one of the stiffest jabs in boxing. He mixes up his punches very well. And I think he has what it takes. I think he'll walk through a lot of Floyd Mayweather's punches and just keep coming. He's experienced. He had a outstanding amateur pedigree. And, you know, do I think this fight will happen? Probably not. Not only is he a top-ranked fighter, but, he's a big boy. And, he's not bigger than Canelo, but in my opinion, he's much, much more dangerous than Canelo. I don't know if Floyd takes this fight. Do I think Floyd has a possibility of winning the fight? Yeah, but to me, I would almost call it a 50-50 fight. And as some of you guys already know, I think Floyd is quite possibly the best fighter who has ever done it. But in this fight, just factoring in the style, the size, the power, the intelligence, I would almost call this a 50-50 fight, And I think that Gennady Golovkin is Floyd Mayweather's biggest threat, period. Point blank period, at any weight. Okay? And this is going in order from biggest threat to smallest threat, by the way. So, yeah. Gennady Golovkin, man. I'm a Floyd Mayweather fan. If Floyd took that fight, I'd be biting my nails. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Number 2 on my list of biggest threats at 154. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I already explained this. If I already did, I apologize, but Gennady Golovkin is 30 years old, and if he does have to cut down to 154, or, let's say Floyd fights him at a catchweight 152, or even if it's like 155, Gennady Golovkin is just as big as Canelo. So, can he make that weight? Will he be comfortable at that weight? We don't know. But if he can cut down to 154 and he looks good at it, that's danger. That's danger for Floyd Mayweather. That's just my opinion. The second guy on the list, Erislandy Lara. He's quick, he's slick, he's a southpaw. I mean, I don't really need to say any more than that. It's a lot of people believe that Floyd Mayweather needs to fight fighters, not to bring race into it, but a lot of people think that Floyd needs to fight prime black fighters in order to take a loss, or in order to challenge himself, or at least someone who can match him for his speed, his quickness, and has at least some ring intelligence. And Erislandy Lara possesses all of those things. Not to mention, he's probably got a longer reach than Floyd. He'll outweigh Floyd. I'll save my breakdown for that fight if it actually happens, but right now, as an early prediction, I think that is the biggest threat for him the second biggest threat at 154. And I'm going to try to keep this video short. The third biggest threat for Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm going to go ahead and say that it would be Austin Trout. Um, Austin Trout is a high output fighter. He's going to throw a lot of punches. He's semi-slick. I wouldn't call him a full-fledged slick fighter, but he is semi-slick. He's not a guy that is going to, you know, take 2 punches to land one big one. He's a southpaw. Decently fast feet, decently fast hands. Good ring IQ. Tall, rangy. I think Floyd might have trouble with that fight. He really might. And I know a lot of you are probably going to say, Canelo beat Trout and, Floyd took care of Canelo easily. Styles make fights, guys. Regardless of who's a better fighter or who won, that fight would not look the same as Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo. It just wouldn't. Okay? And, like I said, I'll save my breakdown for if the fight actually happens. And I'll just give you guys my 4th pick. And this might sound crazy. And, I mean, really, I'm asking myself, where the fuck is this guy, first of all? But James Kirkland at 154. He's a big, strong junior middleweight. He is a pressure fighter / brawler. He will rough Floyd up in there. He will cut off the ring. He hits hard. He's got a ton of heart. And, he ain't that slow on his hands or on his feet. And I think this is another one of those guys that has a good style to give Floyd Mayweather problems. Not to mention, a lot of people say he's crazy or he's cuckoo or whatever, but I think he has a lot of heart and a lot of mental fortitude. He's not just gonna start getting countered by Floyd and give up and start following him around like a lost child like 90% of the other fighters out there do. I see him cutting off the ring on Floyd. I see him being real rough, real dirty in there. There's no question that he's stronger, the bigger, stronger man than Floyd Mayweather. So, if this guy ever comes back and starts fighting again, I could see him giving Floyd Mayweather a pretty tough fight. And those are my four picks for the biggest threats at 154 pounds. And like I said, the biggest threat, period, in my opinion, is Triple G Gennady Golovkin, depending on how he looks at the weight. And, that's a big if. Like I said, if Canelo is having problems getting down to 154, a 30-year-old is going to have even more problems. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But, give me you guys' input. I'd like to hear who you guys think he's going to fight next. Just like how I did it. I want to hear who you think he's going to choose. I want to hear who you think would be the biggest threats at 147, which, at this point in time, threats is the best word I can use for it, but I'm just looking for the fighters that will give him a run for his money. It's obvious that this guy is head and shoulders above everyone and anyone when it comes to skill. But I want to hear who you guys think would give him the best fights out there. Alright? That's it. Subscribe. Peace.